Part 109. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1083. He must recognize his position clearly. The most important thing to know now is that the Immortal Venerable is the Immortal Venerable, and the 9 Immortals are the 9 Immortals. They are not people of the same level. Don't think that if you are good to the 9 Immortals, you can have anything to do with the confrontation between the Immortal Venerable and the Supreme Dragon Clan. In this confrontation, he can only be a small bystander. He has a long way to go in the future. I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network rightward arrow. I believe that you will also have a day to dominate the Dragon Sacrifice Divine Domain, so you must not be discouraged. You have a long way to go in the future. Be calm and focused, look down on all this, and take this as your goal. You can go further. Tianlong God King patted his shoulder and said. Zhang Zizai understood this truth. He nodded. In this battle in the divine domain, he was prepared to be a bystander. Even if she died in the battle, he could only watch. He thought for a moment and asked, "Can you tell me what specific hatred there is between the Chaos Demon Realm and the Supreme Dragon Clan?" The Heavenly Dragon God King took out a book and handed it to Zhang Zizai, saying, "This is the history of the Chaos Demon Realm. You can take a look. I'm leaving. Please enter my mirror dragon space first." After handing the book to Zhang Zizai, he stretched out his hand and a grey cube space appeared in front of Zhang Zizai. He walked into it and the mirror dragon space was closed. This space followed the Heavenly Dragon God King. He turned into a dragon and flew away, while Zhang Zizai was at ease in the mirror dragon space, reading the book he pointed out. This book can be said to be very complete. In fact, the Chaos Demon Realm is just an ordinary part of the Sacrifice Dragon God Realm, but the pattern of the Sacrifice Dragon God Realm did not seem to be like this. In ancient times, it was actually a place where all races gathered. All the Totem ancient gods live in it, and the Supreme Dragon Clan is the most powerful one among them. Later, the Supreme Dragon Clan became stronger and stronger through blood reproduction. They originally occupied the best places and resources, and then continued to expand, oppressing the living space of other Totem ancient gods. Finally, they drove all other ancient gods into the most barren area of the Sacrifice Dragon God domain, named Chaos Demon Realm. From then on, Chaos Demon Realm was the genius of other ancient gods. Although they are also a member of the Sacrifice Dragon God domain, they cannot reach most places without permission. Only by being recognized can they become dragon servants, but they also serve the Supreme Dragon Clan. It can be said that the Supreme Dragon Clan has some control over the Chaos Demon Realm, because this place is extremely chaotic. The Supreme Dragon Clan has sent people to manage it many times, or supported puppet management. With the prosperity of the Supreme Dragon Clan, the Chaos Demon Realm is actually weakening. In the long run, the Chaos Demon Realm is estimated to disappear completely and be completely swallowed up by the Supreme Dragon Clan. At that time, the Sacrifice Dragon God domain will be completely the world of the Supreme Dragon Clan, and other Totem ancient gods will become very rare. After all, in the Dragon Sacrifice domain, the ancient Dragon Totem God is indeed superior to others, and the people in the Chaos Demon Realm dare not provoke the Supreme Dragon Clan the most. Although there have been many powerful people in the history of the Chaos Demon Realm, and there are also many gods, there has never been the most amazing one. Until many years ago, an ancient demon cultivator named Nether Demon rose up and unified the Chaos Demon Realm with his own strength, and even drove out some Supreme Dragon Clan mixed in the Chaos Demon Realm. The Chaos Demon Realm had a chance to develop, but it only stopped the decline. It was impossible to return to the days of competing with the Supreme Dragon Clan. The Nether Demon actually knows the measure very well, so he is actually quite obedient to the arrangements of the Supreme Dragon Clan, so the Supreme Dragon Clan acquiesced to his leadership of the Chaos Demon Realm. However, after this, another strange woman rose at a more terrifying speed. She became stronger step by step, but she was elusive and no one could catch her. She even defeated all the geniuses of the Supreme Dragon clan. In the end, she defeated the Nether Demon and made him surrender, becoming the new master of the Chaos Demon realm. What was even more unexpected was that the Chaos Demon realm began to revive under her rule. The revival of the Chaos Demon realm was something the Supreme Dragon clan did not want to see. Her growing strength also made the Supreme Dragon clan feel apprehensive. Of course, most people did not take her seriously. Until one day, she killed a god who went to the Chaos Demon realm and made trouble in the Chaos Demon realm. The Supreme Dragon clan discovered that she was so strong. Therefore, in the urgent discussion, they thought that if the Immortal Venerable continued to grow, it would pose a threat to the entire Supreme Dragon clan, so they decided to kill him. After all, they already had an excuse to do it. It was the Immortal Venerable who killed the Supreme Dragon clan's god first, which was something the Supreme Dragon clan could not tolerate. So, the chaos in the demon realm became a tragic battle. In the end, the Supreme Dragon clan defeated the Immortal Venerable and killed him, and the chaos in the demon realm was restored to peace. This book is a history written by the people of the Supreme Dragon clan, and it must be biased towards the Supreme Dragon clan. The records of the battle at the time did not list the details. Anyway, her god fell. As for the casualties of the Supreme Dragon clan, they were also skipped. To understand a person, you must know her past. Such a glorious history is her past. A person who changed the chaos in the demon realm. There is no good or evil or right or wrong in survival. The strong naturally have the right to suppress. Zhang Zizai can't tell right from wrong, and he just needs to have his own judgment in his heart. In the face of such things, right or wrong is no longer important. When he put down the book, through the hazy mirror dragon space, what he saw this time was that the strong men of the entire Supreme Dragon clan had gathered together. They were going to set off together. A catastrophe-like battle was about to begin. The scale of this time was not comparable to the ancestor worship. The protagonists here were basically gods, such as the Dragon God King, who were basically brought over to broaden their horizons. His strength was basically not qualified to participate in the battle. Even he was not qualified, let alone Zhang Zizai. The gods present had practiced for tens of thousands of years, or even hundreds of thousands of years, and they were all old monsters. Zhang Zizai looked around and saw that there were gods everywhere in front of him, so dense that they seemed to be free of charge, which made his scalp numb. It can be said that almost all the gods in the entire dragon sacrifice divine domain have gathered here. They joined forces to control countless small divine domains and billions of totem worlds. The Holy Dragon clan is only a part of the Supreme Dragon clan. Those peak beings ahead are all legendary figures, and the history of each person is enough to write dozens of books. Zhang Ziyu can feel the momentum of their combined forces in this mirror dragon space. This is simply not a place where ordinary ancient gods and gods can exist. It seems that this endless world is under their control. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1084. Even the Bright Dragon Lord of the Bright Dragon clan felt a little insignificant in this huge crowd. Zhang Zizai looked ahead and saw all kinds of people, young and old, men and women. They all had serious expressions. Although they hadn't approached yet, they were already eager to fight. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Zhang Zizai had some understanding of the other four Supreme Dragon clans. They were not very similar to the Holy Dragon clan. They were all made up of pure-blooded dragons. Originally, these were the top four bloodlines among the many dragon clans. It was only later that the other dragon clans merged together to form the Holy Dragon clan, which became the 5 Supreme Dragon clans. But even so, the 4 bloodlines are indeed more noble. Although the strong people who appeared are not as numerous as the Holy Dragon clan, after all, their number is far less than that of the Holy Dragon clan, but the upper limit of their strong people is much higher than that of the Holy Dragon clan. Whether it is a genius or a strong person, the Holy Dragon clan is indeed difficult to fight against because it is composed of a miscellaneous brand. These four supreme dragon clans are named gods, immortals, demons, and devils. The Shenlong clan is dominated by the glorious and sacred Shenlong totem, and most of the totems are golden. There is an area in front with many huge golden Shenlong flying, which is the Shenlong clan. The Xianlong clan is dominated by the pure and ethereal Xianlong totem, which is a bit similar to the Bright Dragon clan. The Xianlong clan is the only dragon clan that maintains the matriarchal system. The status of women here is higher. Often the strongest Xianlong clan dragon lord is basically a woman. The beauty of the immortal dragon clan is also famous. Of course, it is basically impossible for dragons outside the immortal dragon clan to marry immortal dragon clan. First, they do not marry outside, and others must marry them. Second, in order to maintain the purity of their bloodline, they are the most forbidden to intermarry with foreign races. The third branch is the demon dragon clan, which is basically dominated by weird and strange demon dragon totems. Their style of behavior is straightforward and rough. This time, they immediately launched the attack, which was also led by them. The fourth branch is the Demon Dragon clan. The Demon Dragon clan cultivates with the ancient demon cultivation method, and is basically dominated by the billion demon dragon totems. They are more brutal than the Demon Dragon clan and are the most ferocious supreme dragon clan. In fact, there are many disputes among the four supreme dragon clans, and even feuds. Their styles and ideas are sometimes different. However, in the face of the problem of the chaos of the demon realm immortal, they can basically forget the disputes and stand together directly. Anyway, no matter how Zhang Zizhe looked at it, there was no good relationship between the dark and gloomy demon dragon clan, the strange and bizarre demon dragon clan, and the shining divine dragon totem and the pure and clean immortal dragon clan. It was almost the same as not hating each other. The Supreme Dragon clan was not completely united, but they were all dragons, so they were united to the outside world. Among the 5 Supreme Dragon clans, the Holy Dragon clan was indeed an outlier, because the Holy Dragon clan was the only Supreme Dragon clan without a leader. The other 4 clans all had dragon emperors, and each dragon emperor was the strongest dragon lord of the clan. Now, the 4 dragon emperors were also the leaders, leading the Supreme Dragon clan, and they were sweeping, and killing towards the chaotic demon realm. The mirror dragon space where Zhang Zizhe was calm, but the outside was turbulent. To be honest, everything outside was too fast, so he couldn't see clearly at all. Those gods had the majesty that his sight could not violate. Maybe if they look a few more times, they will find themselves. The ancient gods look at the gods of heaven, just like mortals look at the ancient gods, and they are mortals who have just started to practice, not the initial god realm. The journey looks very crazy because of the fast speed. Finally, the chaotic demon realm is here. After arriving, there is basically no words. The gods of the Supreme Dragon clan rushed in directly. The Dragon God King did not follow. He stayed on the periphery and gathered with some god kings, waiting for the next order of the gods. Zhang Zizhe stayed here. In this place, he could only barely see the situation ahead. It can be seen that this chaotic demon realm is indeed much more decadent, with wilderness everywhere, and the spirit of the gods cannot be compared with the bright dragon city. Just after 10 breaths, the war broke out. He could see that in the distant sky, the flames of war were raging in an instant. For a moment, he could see hundreds of terrifying dragons of astonishing size appearing in the sky. These gods have become real totems. They are equivalent to a kind of transformation. In this state, they are stronger. Roar, roar, roar. The earth-shaking dragon roar sounded, making the whole world tremble. He really felt that the heaven and earth were trembling, and the sky seemed to have cracked an extremely huge gap. The torn space of heaven and earth shook like the waves. After the first wave of sound waves, it was basically difficult to see clearly what happened in the core. Even if Zhang Zizai kept his eyes fixed, he was a little overwhelmed. The killing started, the immortal venerable has not appeared yet, Tianlong Shenwang said. The immortal venerable did not appear, but the nether demon appeared. Zhang Zizai saw that in the encirclement of countless huge dragons, a black nine-eyed giant demon appeared. It was a giant beast with 9 eyes, ferocious and terrible, but Zhang Zizai remembered that he appeared at the most critical moment and he had saved them. And now, he was fighting against the dragons. He certainly couldn't hold on. If he could hold on against the siege of the entire Supreme Dragon Clan God, it would be against the will of heaven. She appeared, Tianlong God King said. Zhang Zizai looked over. The world over there was already covered by white light. He vaguely saw a snow-white fox. The fox was not big, but she was the infinite focus. Her appearance made the whole world different. The battle was earth-shaking. There was no sound in his ears. Everything over there was completely obscured by the distorted space. Even Tianlong God King said helplessly, "I can't see anything." He thought that if he followed, he might be able to take away the bell or something. Now it was a joke. He couldn't participate at all. "Don't say you, I'm also confused now. I just came here to join in the fun," Tianlong God King said. For some reason, Zhang Zizai suddenly felt that in this situation, daring to fight against the Supreme Dragon Gods had already demonstrated her courage. She is indeed an amazing heroine, a peerless emperor. She is so terrifying in this life after coming to Earth. Can she defeat all the gods with her strength alone? Zhang Zizai asked. It seems that there is a stalemate over there. If so, doesn't it mean that she is the strongest person in the dragon sacrifice divine domain? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1085. That's not the case. It is said that her strength once reached the same level as the 4 dragon emperors. It was the 4 dragon emperors and most of the gods at the scene who attacked together to kill her. Otherwise, she would have escaped. I don't know how she is now after her rebirth. Logically, she must be worse than before her rebirth, but now it seems to be about the same. When he said this, the face of the Dragon God King suddenly changed. How? She actually triggered the all living beings' heavenly intention totem formation. This ancient totem formation actually exists. This is a magic formation handed down from an extinct divine domain. It's terrible. Zhang Zizai looked over there. He couldn't see anything now. Of course it's terrible. This can be said to be the most difficult totem formation in the world. I didn't expect her to succeed. No wonder she dared to challenge. With this totem formation, I guess I can't do anything to her. Hearing him say this, Zhang Zizai finally breathed a sigh of relief. No matter what she looked like now, Zhang Zizai didn't want her to die in battle again. He didn't want to lose Lingling, nor did he want Lingling to lose her mother. This all living beings' heavenly intention Teng array can lead all living beings' beliefs, let all living beings' power gather together and use it for themselves. This is the whole Chaos Demon realm's all living beings supporting her. This is too incredible. I didn't expect that she would have such a popular heart in this Chaos Demon realm. At least 99% of people are willing to die for her to stimulate the power of this all living being's heavenly intention Teng array. Are these people in the Chaos Demon realm really crazy? At this moment, even the Dragon God King was so incredible. Zhang Zizai took a closer look and saw countless heavens and earths around him, with countless stars and dots, gathering towards the battlefield. That was the power of all living beings, which actually gathered on her. Such a person is really an incredible legend. To be honest, if she is still the 9 Immortals, but just needs to pursue her again, such a peerless queen will be more challenging. Can she go back to the past? Zhang Zizai didn't know, he only knew that no matter what, he didn't want her to die. I hope she can live well. Get lost. At this moment, a cold snort spread in shock. After that, Zhang Zizai saw that many gods and dragons were flying towards them. Their faces didn't look good. They were cursing in the direction of the battlefield, but when the sound was too loud, it was impossible to hear what they were saying. In this way, Zhang Zizai finally saw the white fox at the last glance. She stood between heaven and earth with a cold face, but the picture was frozen at this moment. Even if it was a fox, it was a beautiful face. Such a woman deserved to let the ancient gods of the entire chaotic magic realm provide her with power so that she could truly control the heavenly intention of all living beings. At this time, the will of all living beings was the will of heaven. The will of heaven, it can be seen that the Supreme Dragon clan retreated. The gods who were just aggressive left in a panic at this time, and everyone quickly left the chaotic magic realm. Indistinctly, Zhang Zizai heard someone cursing. She can trigger the tank formation of the heavenly intention of all living beings. This bitch didn't expect that she would have such a support now. No wonder she dared to issue a challenge and challenge us. What else do you have? There is no solution to the tank formation of the heavenly intention of all living beings for the time being. However, she can't leave the Chaos Demon realm at all. As long as she leaves, we can kill her at any time. These beasts in the Chaos Demon realm are crazy. They support her like this. No matter how strong we are, it is difficult to fight against all the living beings here. Come out first and discuss countermeasures. Don't say anything. Poor Blizzard Dragon Lord, 300,000 years of hard work, all gone in a day. We must avenge Blizzard Dragon Lord. This time, the entire Chaos Demon realm must be destroyed. Over the years, they have been so good to them, these people who rebel against chaos. Who would have known that she actually had such a totem formation and could even use this legendary formation diagram? From the conversation between the gods, Zhang Zizai roughly knew what was going on. She did have a support, so she dared to go to the Bright Dragon clan. With the totem formation of the heavenly intention of all living beings, she will have no problem guarding the Chaos Demon realm. It will be difficult for the Supreme Dragon clan to enter here from now on. However, it should be difficult for her to come out. If she comes out, she will lose the power of the totem formation. The Supreme Dragon clan will definitely set up a boundary and surveillance around her. It seems that a battle that may end immediately, the dispute between the Chaos Demon realm and the Supreme Dragon clan may become very long from now on. At least now that Lingling is fine, Zhang Zizai is indeed much more relieved. He is probably the only one who feels fortunate among the Supreme Dragon clan present. Zhang Zizai listened to their discussion and thought that a Dragon Lord should have died in the battle. Blizzard Dragon Lord, Zhang Zizai recalled that he seemed to have seen him in the Origin Dragon Cave. Her son was Sikong Yu, who was also Long Yan's opponent at the time. Unexpectedly, Juxian actually killed her. A god, immortal and indestructible, died just like this. It is impossible for this war not to be grand. Poor Blizzard Dragon Lord, it took so much effort to make Blizzard Dragon Lord flourish. Now that Dragon Lord is lost, the Blizzard Dragon clan needs to return to the Blue Ice Dragon clan. Hundreds of thousands of years of development and reproduction, in one day, all the efforts were lost. This hatred must be avenged to Blizzard Dragon Lord. The Holy Dragon clan is different from the other 4 Supreme Dragon clans. The other 4 clans always have only one clan, and all Dragon Lords belong to one clan. However, for the Holy Dragon clan, every time a god is born, they can take away some of the original Dragon clan members and create a new Dragon clan. For example, the White Flame Dragon clan and the Blizzard Dragon clan are all created in this way. But once the god dies in battle, those who are separated will return to the mother clan. One Dragon Lord for each Dragon clan is the standard. If the Bright Dragon clan loses a Dragon Lord, it will also be merged into other dragon clans, and it can only be rebuilt after a new Bright Dragon Lord is born. But in fact, the death of a god in battle is still very rare. Basically, it has only happened twice in 300,000 years, and both times were killed by the Immortal Lord. Now, under the divine power of the Immortal Lord, the gods of the Supreme Dragon clan, with endless anger and depression, withdrew from the Chaos Demon realm. When they gathered outside the Chaos Demon realm, they turned into human forms and looked at each other for a time. They fell into a long silence. Xuanhuan. From now on, this may be a long war. Before we have a way to crack the 10 formation of the heavenly intention of all living beings, as long as she hides here, we can't have a way to deal with her, someone said. Zhang Zizai couldn't see who was talking. It might be a certain dragon emperor. What should we do then? First, all races should be prepared to deal with their attacks at any time. She may come out to kill people. Second, study how to crack the 10 formation of the heavenly intention of all living beings. Third, set up a magic formation outside the entire Chaos Demon realm so that they can get out even if there is a fly. We all know it. We only need to know one thing: the Immortal Venerable and the Nether Demon are the great enemies of my Supreme Dragon clan. They will definitely die. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1086. Zhang Zizai had no intention of listening carefully to the declarations and cruel words of the powerful men of the Supreme Dragon clan. Now that the Heavenly Dragon God King is an unimportant figure in this operation, he has already begun to return to Guangming Dragon City. There are a few people left who are still setting up. I failed to kill the Immortal Lord today, and it is estimated that there will be a stalemate for a long time in the future. The war between the Supreme Dragon Gate and the Chaos Demon Realm will definitely last for a long time. Every god is a treasure of the Supreme Dragon clan. This time the Blizzard Dragon Lord dies in battle, the entire Supreme Dragon clan will fight to the death with the Immortal Lord. This is absolutely certain. After all, this is also a matter of face. In the Dragon Sacrifice Divine Realm that they dominate, they can't even capture an Immortal Lord, and they can't control a chaotic demon realm. They will definitely make other gods laugh. This time around, almost no one's face looked good looking. It can even be said that this time it was a failure. Those who had great confidence in this operation should be disappointed. In such a serious atmosphere, almost no one said much. Unless there are specific countermeasures. Some people left behind have begun to arrange totem arrays around the Chaos Demon Realm. The entire Chaos Demon Realm is not too big. The first step they have to do is to block it first. The Immortal Lord has clearly expressed that she wants the Supreme Dragon clan to pay for its blood debt, and this battle will never end here. The only one who was in a lighter mood than when he arrived was Zhang Zizai himself. At least now, she is safe and sound, will not die easily again, and there will be some hope for the future. The bottom line is, the bell should be fine. I hope she can be kind to Lingdang. After all, she gave birth to him. Zhang Zizai thought to himself. I just don't know if this child will miss me as time passes. If I haven't seen her for many years, I won't be able to watch her grow up. Zhang Zizai felt a little helpless when he thought of this. As a father, he definitely wanted to watch Lingdang grow up little by little and accompany her on her journey of growth. This can only be seen as a pity. The thing that needs to be solved more before is the reincarnation calamity of Longyan. When Zhang Zizai was still thinking in the mirror dragon space, what he didn't know was that on the way back, the Guangming Dragon Lord, the Xuanhuan Dragon Lord, several god kings of the Guangming Dragon clan and other dragon lords, except for the Heavenly Dragon God King outside, they gathered together and were discussing Zhang Zizai's affairs. Guangming Dragon Lord said, "Do you think Zhang Zizai is an opportunity? He and I had a relationship in the mortal stage after the reincarnation of the Immortal Lord. Maybe I can find a way to crack the Immortal Lord in him." This needs to be based on the fact that Xianzun and Zhang Zizhe really have a relationship, but she only took away her daughter and ignored Zhang Zizhe. You know that she has no feelings for Zhang Zizhe at all. Zhang Zizhe wants her to. It's basically impossible to expose a flaw, King Mulongzun said. I think so too. 30 years of mortal experience is insignificant to the life of the immortal lord. She has returned to the divine realm and is no longer a reincarnated mortal. Even if we kill Zhang Zizhe in front of her, I guess there will be no reaction, Blue Ice Dragon Lord said. If you all say this, I won't look for a breakthrough in Zhang Zizhe, Guangming Dragon Lord said. Indeed, mortals could fall in love in the past, but how can they be on the same level now? A terrifying succubus who has been practicing for thousands of years, and a newborn child are completely different, Zixiao Dragon Lord said lightly, but I do have a question. If you train Zhang Zizhe, after many years, when he truly becomes a talent and the immortal lord is still alive, will he turn against you? During the last ancestor worship, everything Zhang Zizhe did made the other dragons jealous. Zixiao Dragon Lord was teased many times by Guangming Dragon Lord because of this. At this time, he finally regained some face. After all, Zhang Zizhe's identity is no longer as pure as before. Judging from the current situation, it should be more complicated. After all, there is a daughter between them. But the current attitude of the immortal lord towards him should make him feel chilled. If he is growing up in our Supreme Dragon clan, it is impossible for him to switch sides. King Mulongzun said. Rebellion, Guangming Dragon Lord smiled slightly and said, it's just a little kid. For such a long time, I can let them form a bloody feud. This age is just a blank piece of paper. Others, it's not like I am on this piece of white paper. What's written on the paper? After he said this, Zixiao Dragon Lord smacked his lips and then stopped talking. That was a long time ago. Zhang Zizhe, not even 10,000 years, can have any impact on the current situation in the dragon sacrifice god realm. You should just focus on the matter in front of you. It is best to kill this immortal as soon as possible. Apart from future troubles, if she doesn't die at all, our Supreme Dragon clan will not have the face to face the ridicule of other gods. The other 4 Supreme Dragon clans have returned in vain this time. They care about face more than us. I guess they will soon be able to think of a way to break it. Then it will be the end of this immortal king. The ancient gods of the Chaos Demon realm dare to do this time. If you fight against us like this, you must teach a lesson. Those who are disobedient have no need to live. We will return to Guangming Dragon City soon. Zhang Zizhe asked the Heavenly Dragon God King, can you help me ask the Bright Dragon Lord about Yanus' reincarnation? If he can't solve it, can you ask him to help me ask the entire Supreme Dragon clan if there is anyone who can solve it? Where are the people? Once, the Light Dragon Lord valued himself and Longyan so much that he had just taken himself to the Light Dragon tomb to forge his Holy Dragon celestial body to the 9th level. No problem. The Heavenly Dragon God King first sent Zhang Zizhe back to the Heavenly Dragon Palace, and then went to find the Light Dragon Lord. The result of the battle in the Chaos Demon realm had already spread. When Zhang Zizhe just came back, Longyan and the others already knew that the strong men of the entire Supreme Dragon clan gathered together and returned in defeat in the Chaos Demon realm. Xiaobao, is what they said true? Is Lingling okay? Zhang Yuning looked forward to his return, and then asked nervously. Zhang Zizhe smiled slightly, which was considered an answer to her. Thank God, if she can keep Lingling safe, it won't be too bad. She will definitely treat Lingling well, she murmured to herself. Don't worry. Zhang Zizhe stood in front of her and gave her some comfort. They were indeed fortunate that the 9 immortals did not die. Although I may not be able to see her grow up, this is not the worst news after all. Not long after Zhang Zizhe came back, the Heavenly Dragon God King and the Bright Dragon Lord actually came here. Zhang Yuning and the others went in first, leaving Zhang Zizhe and Longyan alone. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Feng Qingyang. Chapter 1087. Let me check. Guangming Dragon Lord's eyes were serious. Now he finally had time to look at Long Yan's reincarnation calamity. He studied the reincarnation calamity for a while, then frowned and said, as I expected, the reincarnation calamity is the power of the rules of heaven and earth, and is the most difficult thing to deal with in the world. This is the reincarnation calamity of the Immortal Lord, but it was stripped away by her. Although it is bad news, I still have to tell you that in this world, only the Immortal Lord himself can remove this reincarnation disaster. This is undoubtedly the most troublesome situation for Zhang Zizhe. Since she suffered this reincarnation calamity, how could she get rid of it for Long Yan? Moreover, Zhang Zizhe had no chance to see her again. There was no way he could enter the Chaos Demon realm. Is there no other way? He asked quickly. Of course there is another way, that is, the Immortal Lord dies in battle within these 10 years. As long as she dies in battle, this reincarnation catastrophe will naturally disappear. You can rest assured that this should be the only way for Yanner to return to normal. We are here in these 10 years. He will definitely try his best to kill her. This is Yanner's only way to save her life. Guangming Dragon Lord looked at Zhang Zizhe seriously. Got it? Taiwan Novel Network Rightward arrow. Zhang Zizhe understood. Even the Dragon Emperor couldn't handle this reincarnation calamity, because it was the reincarnation calamity of the 9 Immortals, so either she had to get rid of it personally, or she died. If these two situations do not happen, then 10 years later, Long Yan will be tortured to death by reincarnation, just like the situation of the 9 Immortals. This result is a bit cruel. Long Yan was in a very calm mood. She should have guessed the same as herself. She had already said that she didn't care about life and death, so at this time she just wanted to make Zhang Zizhe not feel too uncomfortable. Zhang Zizhe, there are some things that I have to explain to you clearly. You come with me, Guangming Dragon Lord said to him, and then with a wave of his hand, they had arrived at another place. Long Zun, please speak, he said. What happened recently has a lot to do with you. It's really shocking that you can have a marriage with Xuanhuan in his mortal stage. To be honest, after this incident happened, many people knew that it was you who caused Xuanhuan's rebirth. I wanted to kill you to vent my anger, but I stopped you. After all, it was your fault of ignorance and it was not your original wish. Guangming Dragon Lord still looked at Zhang Zizhe seriously. Zhang Zizhe nodded. He had his own yardstick in his heart. Right and wrong, merit and demerit were not determined by what the Bright Dragon Lord said. You must have seen it that day. She looked at you like an ant. In the eyes of the Immortal, you are just an insignificant passerby. She will no longer have any feelings for you, so from now on, you can't have any extravagant expectations. That will destroy yourself. First, she doesn't see you as a person at all. Second, as a member of the Supreme Dragon Clan, you also know that this person is our enemy, and a big enemy. With the Dragon Totem, you can't let down your own bloodline and ancestors, let alone all the people who have helped you on your way to becoming stronger. Zhang Zizhe nodded again. He actually knew what he would say to him from the position of the Bright Dragon Lord. You can be where you are today because the Heavenly Dragon God King has helped you a lot, otherwise you would have to spend your whole life in the Qingchuan Little God's domain and come to the Guangming Dragon Clan. I will also train you as the best descendant, and even give you more than my own direct descendants. Resources. I am not saying this to put a psychological burden on you, but I want you to understand that we must be loyal to our own blood and our ancestors. I know that you are young and may be tempted by some beauty. But you must be clear that the Immortal Lord is definitely not the person you imagined. If you have even the slightest thought about it, it is stupid. I can understand you, but the entire Supreme Dragon Clan, there is absolutely zero tolerance for traitors, so you must think clearly, the Bright Dragon Lord said sincerely. Thank you, Dragon Lord, I understand what you said, but Dragon Lord really overestimated me. With my current level, I am actually not qualified to make a choice. I can only watch the dispute between the Supreme Dragon Clan and the Chaos Demon Realm. Zhang Ziyi said. That's true, but I just want you to grow up smoothly. Don't let people who are jealous of you take advantage of this matter. Now that the situation is so tense, there must be people who are jealous of you, waiting for you to make a mistake. Guangming Longzundeo. Zhang Ziyi continued to nod. Besides, Yanner is really kind to you. This girl deserves to be treated better than anyone else. This reincarnation is very unfair to her. The Immortal Lord is also cruel enough. In the next 10 years, I will definitely try my best to kill the Immortal Lord, but you also have to think clearly about who is really worthy of your protection, he said again with great sincerity. Zhang Ziyi gritted his teeth. In fact, this time he talked about Zhang Ziyi's guilt. He felt like he owed her again. I have told you so much, but I am still optimistic about you. When making any decision in the future, you must think clearly and don't waste your talents. There must be a reason for the Origin Dragon Cave to choose you. Maybe in the future, you will be ours. The pride of the Supreme Dragon Clan. The Bright Dragon Lord patted him on the shoulder. I know. Zhang Ziyi nodded for the last time. Next, we may rebuild the Ancestral Dragon Academy. There is no final decision yet. When a conclusion is reached, I will convene a Bright Dragon meeting to determine the quota for the Ancestral Dragon Academy. If the Ancestral Dragon Academy is confirmed to be rebuilt, the 4 of you people must have a place. Go back. The moment they finished speaking, they returned to the Tianlong Palace, and then Guangming Longzun left first. Although they were curious about what Guangming Longzun and Zhang Ziyi had said, they did not ask much. For Zhang Ziyi, those words had their own answers in his heart. He did not want Yanner to die, but he did not want Juxian to die either. The answers in this world are not black and white. Guangming Longzun meant that one of them would die and let Zhang Ziyi choose, but why couldn't both of them live? The future is still long, whether it is a traitor or glory. Zhang Ziyi has his own ideas and rulers in his heart. He is different from the geniuses who grew up in the Sacrifice Dragon Divine Domain. Although he is only in his 20s, he has experienced too many storms and trials and has long had his own self. Did Longzun talk about the Zilong Academy? Tianlong God King suddenly asked. You know too, Zhang Ziyi said. He just told me that I might go to the Zilong Academy to be a dragon sacrifice master. Tianlong God King said. What exactly is this Zilong Academy? Zhang Ziyi asked. This was the arrangement made by the Bright Dragon Lord for his future destiny, so of course he wanted to know. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1088. It's a long story, let me explain it slowly. It's like this. The heavenly dragon god king called the 4 of them to his presence and continued, there was a time when the supreme dragon clan actually cultivated descendants differently from now. In the distant past, the ancient gods and gods of the 5 supreme dragon clans were actually gathered in the Ancestor Dragon Academy for unified guidance. The Ancestral Dragon Academy has 5 palace masters, who come from the 5 supreme dragon clans, and then there are more than 500 dragon priests from the 5 supreme dragon clans, all of whom are at the God King level, responsible for special guidance and training of the academy disciples. Basically, in each dragon clan, only geniuses who can at least participate in the Millennium Festival are eligible to study in the Ancestral Dragon Academy. Zhang Ziyi still knows what level of geniuses the Millennium Festival is. For example, at the level of ancient gods, there may be only 1 to 3 of the size of a Bright Dragon clan. For example, the Purple Sky Dragon clan, only Xing and Zijhen participated in the Millennium Festival last time. This should be considered a very high-level school. It is a place where the Supreme Dragon clan specially trains descendants. The benefit of gathering together is definitely that it can facilitate exchanges and communication between descendants. In the Zilong Academy, basically all the gods are recruited, and there are only about 1% of ancient gods. Those who can enter the Zilong Academy are basically recognized as being able to become god kings. Therefore, only after successfully becoming a god king can you graduate from the Zilong Academy. In the Sacrifice Dragon Divine Domain, becoming a god king can be considered a strong person and can start to contribute to the tribe, Tianlong God King said. In fact, the former Zilong Academy was indeed very powerful. It gathered the resources of the 5 supreme dragon clans, and that place was also a special place. The entire Zilong Academy was said to be built by a meteorite from the origin of our Shenlong clan. Not only was the divine aura very rich, but it also gave birth to many heavenly and earthly treasures. There are even many mysterious realms related to the origin. In the past, the Zilong Academy cultivated more geniuses than today. And because there were more battles since childhood, the cultivated god kings were more powerful. And most importantly, in the Zilong Academy, all young geniuses are absolutely safe. Why is it safe? Zhang Zizai asked. Because the land of Zilong Academy naturally has a totem formation, which was born from heaven and earth, and is even more mysterious than the totem formation of the heavenly intention of all living beings. It is called the Zilong Guardian Totem Formation. It is controlled by the 5 palace masters. Once it is opened, even a strong man at the level of Dragon Emperor will not be able to enter. And the reconstruction of this Zilong Academy this time may be related to the Zilong Guardian Totem Formation, Tianlong God King said. Because of the Immortal Venerable, Zhang Zizai asked. Yes. Although they will set up defenses in the Chaos Demon realm and monitor at any time, it is difficult to be foolproof with the strength of the Immortal Venerable. The Immortal Venerable is now a very dangerous person and a major concern for the Supreme Dragon clan. Moreover, she is definitely seeking revenge, so the elders must be worried that she will show up and defeat us one by one. They are even more worried that she will sneak attack some dragon cities and attack the weak and young. Therefore, at this time, it is necessary to gather the geniuses in each clan who have no self-protection power and protect them with the Zilong Guardian Totem Formation. The genius gap is very scary for a race. Such things have happened in the history of the Supreme Dragon clan, so they are very cautious. They are afraid that the enemy will attack the young geniuses in the clan. If this group of people is gone, half of the foundation of the clan will be directly cut off. So I think that in less than 2 days, the Zilong Academy will definitely be rebuilt after the results of their discussion come out. Because after the death of the Blizzard Dragon Venerable, they are too afraid of the Immortal Venerable. Zhang Zizai roughly knew it. It means that before the war, the geniuses should be protected first. This is correct. However, he was a little doubtful, so he asked, since the Zilong Academy is so good, why did it disband in the first place? The Heavenly Dragon God King smiled and said, there are several problems. First, the relationship between the 5 supreme dragon clans was not good at that time, and the conflicts were very fierce. The young people in the Zilong Academy also fought very fiercely, and many people died in the fight. Second, the distribution of resources was unfair. Some dragon priests privately took the resources of the academy to give to their disciples. Third, because the young people of the 5 supreme dragon clans mixed together, it was inevitable that there would be cross-clan love, which affected the pure blood to a certain extent. Because of these reasons, the Zilong Academy was disbanded, and this good place was wasted. Zhang Zizai understood. After all, the 5 supreme dragon clans were not completely of one mind. But this time, with the enemy at hand, it's definitely no problem to unite as one. Now the entire Supreme Dragon clan is unprecedentedly united. It seems that they are ready to fight a protracted war, so they discuss the Ancestral Dragon Academy. I just don't know, if they win this fight, Will the ancestral Dragon Academy continue to operate? The Dragon God King was curious. It should be. An enemy is enough for them to learn a lesson. In fact, I don't think the reasons you mentioned are the root cause. The root cause is that they haven't learned much, so they are keen on internal fighting, Zhang Zizai said. You have a good idea. The Dragon God King smiled and said, you four can definitely go to the Ancestral Dragon Academy. If the Ancestral Dragon Academy is really going to open, I should also be arranged there as a dragon sacrifice master to guide the younger generation to practice, and I can still protect you at that time. It's too early to say now, it still depends on the arrangement. As a result, on the second day, the Heavenly Dragon God King was directly asked to convene the Bright Dragon Conference. Less than half an hour later, after the Heavenly Dragon God King returned, he directly said to them, pack up your things, you can set off. They have decided to rebuild the Ancestral Dragon Academy, and agreed not to disband for at least 10,000 years. 10,000 years, it seems that the immortal venerable really makes them afraid. Ancestral Dragon Academy can indeed protect the talented descendants of their supreme dragon clan very well, at least guaranteeing the inheritance of the race. A safe place for training is very important. The four of them are all qualified. The Bright Dragon clan has 100 places, and other dragon clans may only have 1 or 2 places for the ancient gods, but we have 5. Add Bai Mu. Oh, by the way, Bai Mu is a god, so that's for the Heavenly Dragon God King said. The quota of the Ancestral Dragon Academy is still very strict. After all, this is a place to train God Kings. It's too early for the ancient gods to enter now. In the past, the Ancestral Dragon Academy basically became a God King before going. 4 places, that means even Chu Xiu has no chance to go. The other 96 were, of course, geniuses of the Divine Lord. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1089. Geniuses of this level usually become divine kings in their 20s, but it may take hundreds or even thousands of years to become a divine king. The age range of divine kings is very large, and 96 is really not that many. If calculated by age, there is actually not much difference in the number of people going in each age group. Isn't Bai Mu banned? Zhang Zizai said. In the face of such a big event, his matter is already insignificant, the Heavenly Dragon God King said. Zhang Zizai naturally knew that he was just complaining. Next to Zhang Zizai, there were Zhang Yanning and Ruo Xiaoyu. After I send you to Zilong Academy, I will send them back to Qingchuan and let Tiandu take care of their cultivation, said the Heavenly Dragon God King. Zhang Zizai had already discussed this matter with them. Now Zhang Zizai has to leave here and go to the Zilong Academy, and he has no idea how long it will take. The Heavenly Dragon God King also has to go there, and there is no time to return to the Heavenly Dragon Palace. It will definitely be inconvenient for them to be 2 mortals here. For those who are not so talented, practicing in the Dragon Sacrifice God Realm and the Small God Realm are almost the same. Over at the Divine King's Palace in Tiandu, Su Yuexi will definitely take good care of Zhang Zizai's sisters. In the past, Zhang Zizai needed their help to take care of Lingdang, but now Lingdang has been taken away. They definitely can't go to Zilong Academy, and the evolutionary world has no cultivation conditions, which is not good for their development, so they still need to settle down. It was their own decision to return to the Small God Realm. If Xiaoyu needs to be separated from Lu Dingxing, it doesn't matter to them, because after arriving at Zilong Academy, they can't come out casually, but Tianlong God King can easily take them back to Qingchuan, and there are many opportunities to meet. Don't worry about missing me too much. Even so, Zhang Yanning still secretly shed tears. In fact, she still missed Lingdang too much and was always worried that she would not have a good life there. If you have any news about Lingdang, you must tell me as soon as possible so that I know she is safe, Zhang Yanning said. Don't cry. You're not young anymore. When you get to Qingchuan, you might be able to find a suitable person to marry. Zhang Zizai helped her wipe away her tears. If I don't see the belle for one day, I will never marry, she said seriously. Zhang Zizi was speechless. He knew that she had devoted too much emotion to Lingdang. Definitely he hugged her as a promise. Take care of yourself. Man Zhang Yanning's eyes were gentle. My dear sister, blood dissolves in water, how could he not protect her? Good. Now everything is fine, just let her rest assured. And Xiao Yu, she has grown up too. Brother, no one can control your future, Ruo Xiao Yu said seriously. Don't praise me, I know. I will help you keep an eye on the panda. If he messes with others, I will definitely report him, Zhang Zizai said with a smile. You fart, you pick up 100 girls, and he won't even look at other women, Ruo Xiaoyu said with disdain. Xiaoyu, it's the most beautiful, Lu Dingxing said seriously. I can't stand you guys, let's go, it's so frustrating to have to show affection before leaving. So when we parted at the end, we were still smiling. In fact, there are indeed many opportunities to meet in the future. Zhang Zizai just reported to the Zilong Academy first and settled down first. As long as the Tianlong God King is free, he can take them back to the Little God realm at any time. After all, the Zilong Academy only guarantees that most geniuses they are safe, and those who threaten their safety will not track them to the Little God realm to kill Zhang Zizai. The entire Guangming Dragon clan has a quota of 100, among which there are 5 God Kings who serve as dragon sacrificial masters, but except for the Heavenly Dragon God King, none of them are known to them. The Heavenly Dragon God King is not as familiar with the entire Guangming Dragon City as the Guanzhou God King. He himself has nothing to do. It is normal for him to be arranged to be a dragon sacrifice master. Moreover, I heard that he has trained so many geniuses. I definitely trust his ability in this area. Guangming Longzun recommended him personally, and he must also value his ability to take care of Zhang Zizai and the others. 5 dragon sacrifice masters gathered together and took 100 people directly to Zilong Academy. Zhang Zizai met Bai Mu again. Bai Mu's expression was cold. After seeing Zhang Zizai, he smiled slightly and said, I didn't expect your life to be so exciting. You have even played with the Immortal Lord. You are really romantic. There was sarcasm and ridicule in these words. It seemed that he was still resentful of losing to Zhang Zizai. If you were lucky enough to break the dog leash, don't bark as soon as you come out. You will avoid getting whipped, Zhang Zizai said. His words were still sharp. Haha, Bai Mu continued to smile. He looked at Long Yan and said, it seems that you failed to get married. Now she is not your woman, right? You don't seem to love her yourself? In that case, then I seem to have a chance, brother, you might be able to help me, right? Go away, you are just a piece of shit in Yanner's eyes, Zhang Zizai said with a frown. This guy really doesn't know how to live or die, and he jumps around as soon as he comes out. Zhang Zizai will have many opportunities to beat him in the future. Unexpectedly, he said shit, and Bai Mu was still not angry. He continued to smile and said, shit can live for thousands of years, but she seems to only have 10 years. It's a pity, beauty and bones, she is a short-lived ghost, and it was all caused by you, a cruel murderer, who deceived and played with her feelings, and even killed her. You are really a beast. Zhang Zizai's heart was really hurt this time. Bai Mu was very smart and directly tore open his scar and sprinkled salt into it. Moreover, all the casualties of my Supreme Dragon clan in the future, including the death of Blizzard Dragon Lord, are caused by you, a beast. These are all your sins. Zhang Zizai, others dare not say, but I dare to tell the truth, from now on, you are the sinner of our Supreme Dragon clan, you deserve to die. After saying this, he actually laughed. There were other gods beside him, their faces were cold, and they didn't say much. They didn't care about Long Yan's matter, but now, the whole world knows that the immortal lord was able to die and be reborn because Zhang Zizai saved her. This was said by the immortal lord himself, and everyone listened. Zhang Zizai himself didn't expect that these days, public opinion has developed to the point where I don't know how many people want to kill him to vent their anger. What Bai Mu said was already considered light. He has been in contact with Bright Dragon Lord and others, but he doesn't know what others are talking about. But these are all what he should bear, he doesn't care much, and he may not be on the side of the Supreme Dragon clan now. However, what Bai Mu said about Long Yan was really painful. But at this time, a hand suddenly grabbed him. Zhang Zizai turned around and saw her smiling at him from behind. She didn't say anything, but this warm and gentle smile cooled Zhang Zizai's murderous heart. She really never blamed herself. At such a time, she was the one who suffered. Why did she need her to comfort herself, fearing that she would feel uncomfortable? Such a girl is always so good that Zhang Zizai feels that he is committing a crime. Sometimes, love is really a debt that must be repaid. Volume 8. Zilong Academy. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1090. The rebuilt Ancestral Dragon Academy has gathered the geniuses of the entire Supreme Dragon clan. This is not just the territory of the Holy Dragon Celestial clan. Although the other 4 Supreme Dragon clans have fewer people, they are more outstanding. It is said that the number of the Holy Dragon clan is almost as much as that of the other 4 Supreme Dragon clans combined. However, in fact, the geniuses of the gods who are qualified to enter the Ancestral Dragon Academy are almost the same. Even the 4 Supreme Dragon clans a little more. The Guangming Dragon clan has received 100 quotas, which is considered to be a lot for the Holy Dragon Celestial clan. Some small clans may only have 20 or 30 places. In the former Ancestral Dragon Academy, the competition between the 5 Supreme Dragon clans was indeed fierce. The geniuses of the gods formed cliques and often performed better and received more resources. Many important growth opportunities, rewards from some evolutionary sources, and gifts of divine minds and magical medicines are all closely related to one's own talent performance. When the 5 dragon sacrifice masters of the Bright Dragon clan led the team to the Ancestral Dragon Academy, the entire Supreme Dragon clan's divine geniuses were actually gathering here. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. The Ancestral Dragon Academy is at the junction of the other 4 Supreme Dragon clans, with the Holy Dragon Celestial clan being the furthest away. In fact, although the Holy Dragon Celestial clan is large, its territory is not the core of the Dragon Sacrifice God realm. The core point of the Dragon Sacrifice God realm is here at the Ancestral Dragon Academy, and the territory occupied by the other 4 Supreme Dragon tribes is better. In fact, among the 4 Supreme Dragon clans, some people still do not admit that there are 5 Supreme Dragon clans at all. They will jokingly call them the 4 major clans plus miscellaneous clans. None of this mattered to Zhang Zizai. This time he was assigned to the Zilong Academy. His only goal was to become stronger and become a divine king as soon as possible. His biggest goal in life now is to one day be able to talk to her face to face, see the bell, and repay Yanner's debt. Now his heart is hot. After a long journey, Zilong Academy has arrived. It is said that about 10,000 divine geniuses and more than 200 ancient gods with incredible talents came to Zilong Academy. They were the last batch to arrive. These 200 or so ancient gods will definitely become divine kings soon. Among so many people, it is likely that only Lu Dingxing and Xuanhuan are dragon attendants, so after entering, be sure to keep a low profile. There are many people inside that you cannot afford to offend, especially the other 4 Supreme Dragon clans Tianlong God King Li Wei. Zhang Zizai nodded. However, keeping a low profile is a low profile. If someone bullies you, there are some things that you cannot tolerate. Because of the Immortal Lord's matter, you may also be ostracized. Just be aware of this kind of thing, the Heavenly Dragon God King said a little more. Zhang Zizai understood this better. For example, before setting off, Baimu made a few sarcastic remarks. After this incident spread, there must be many people who have special thoughts about themselves. The overall layout of the Zilong Academy is a circle. The center part of the circle is called the Ancestral Dragon Palace. There are 5 palace masters' mansions inside. You cannot break into them casually. The 5 palace masters come from the 5 supreme dragon clans. Among them, the person from the Longtian clan who serves as the palace master is the Aoki Dragon Lord, who should be able to protect us. In addition to the Ancestral Dragon Palace, there are many places of trial and enlightenment in the center of the circle. These are the essence of the entire Supreme Dragon clan's inheritance. Many people have been abandoned, but even during the period when the Ancestral Dragon Academy was disbanded, there are still people who secretly come in and bring the younger generation here to practice. Many of the places for training are even more blessed than the Dragon Tomb. It is indeed a stupid decision of the Supreme Dragon clan to abandon the Ancestral Dragon Academy due to internal fighting, Wang said bluntly. The Ancestral Dragon Academy must have a lot of good fortune, and the Ancestral Dragon Guardian Totem formation that protects the Ancestral Dragon Academy is only part of it. This is a place full of secrets. The circle outside the center is called the Dragon Festival Palace. There are about 500 Dragon Festival Palaces in total. They are the territory of our Dragon Festival Masters. We usually teach in our respective Dragon Festival Palaces. If you have any questions, you can go to any of them. Ask the Dragon Palace, but it must be the Dragon Sacrifice Master who is willing to guide. Although the Ancestral Dragon Academy does not distinguish between races, there are always some people who are more willing to help the disciples of their own clan. As for the outermost circle of this circle, it is called the Qianlong Palace. That is where you live. There are more than 10,000 Qianlong palaces in total. After you enter, you can choose each one. The location of the Qianlong Palace, it is definitely better to be closer to the center of the circle, as the spiritual energy is strong, and it is quieter and safer. Unfortunately, we arrived a little late. It is estimated that we, the Holy Dragon Celestial Clan, are at a disadvantage in this regard because the other 4 tribes have been chosen. It's closer to here. It was just a place of residence, and it didn't matter to Zhang Zizai. Each person has a Qianlong Palace, which feels a bit like returning to the Temple of Sacrifice, when they were together. But there are a lot less people. Zhang Zizai asked whether Baishanjin and Wanqian could develop in the Little God realm. Of the people at that time, he and Lu Dingxing are still here. Is Zilong Academy so big? Zhang Zizai asked. Of course not. In fact, the scope of the academy is only about 1/10 of the entire totem formation outside the Qianlong Palace. There is a larger circle, which is a circular mountain range with hundreds of layers, called Xuanhuan Mountain. Xuanhuan Mountain is also part of the Zilong Academy. All the mountains, rocks, and rivers in it are said to come from a distant place, and it is very likely the origin of our clan. Xuanhuan Mountain is a magical place that has been abandoned for many years. The former Xuanhuan Mountain was full of various legends. Many people got some magical fortunes in it and developed them. The secrets of Xuanhuan Mountain still exist today. Now that the Zilong Academy has been rebuilt, Xuanhuan Mountain should still be the trial ground for the disciples of the academy. In the past, Xuanhuan Mountain raised many mythical beasts. It is said that no one has taken care of them for so many years. The mythical beasts here have developed to a considerable scale, and their danger is much higher than before. At that time, we may have to investigate first before allowing the disciples to enter in this Xuanhuan Mountain. We can get some life and death tests. The mythical beasts will not show mercy to the disciples of the academy. There are places of enlightenment in the Zilong Palace, and there are also trial places like Xuanhuan Mountain. In addition, the geniuses of the 5 supreme dragons are competing and fighting with each other. This Zilong Academy is indeed a place full of challenges, and it is simply a microcosm of the entire battle in the Dragon Sacrifice divine domain. Just as the Dragon God King was explaining to them, the Zilong Academy had already arrived. There was an ordinary forest in front of them. When they passed through the border of the forest, they suddenly found that the scene in front of them had changed, and an extremely magnificent and desolate world appeared in front of them. What we just passed through was the Zilong Guardian Formation. It hasn't really been opened yet, so it's easy to get in, the Dragon God King said. Please bookmark this site to read the latest novels. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1091. Now they were flying at high speed in the sky. Zhang Zizai looked down. Below were stretches of mountains. There were high mountains and deep ravines everywhere. The trees were basically big trees in the sky. There were countless potholes between the jungles. So high in the sky, you can smell some bloody and barbaric atmosphere. This is definitely a Shura field where mythical beasts fight for food, and it is a place where the law of the jungle governs. This kind of desolate and ferocious land seems to be able to swallow people up at any time. This is Xuanhuan Mountain. Xuanhuan Mountain is very big. It takes a long time to go inside at the speed of Tianlong God King and others, and he is transformed into only a divine dragon can fly to such a high position. Zhang Zizai and the others, flying as ancient gods, can only fly near the crowns of the big trees in the sky below, because some trees are indeed very high. It would probably not be easy for them to leave the Zilong Academy themselves. However, you can still feel that the closer you are to the center of the circle, the more intense the majestic and ancient divine energy is. The divine spirit here makes people feel more comfortable. Almost there. Zhang Zizai finally saw some continuous palaces ahead. This was the Zilong Academy, a place that had been abandoned for many years and was now rejuvenated. He found that Qianlong Palace from Xuanlong Mountain to Zilong Academy had almost no protection. Those mythical beasts, aren't they coming to Zilong Academy? They are smart, of course they don't dare to come. Even if there is no one in the Zilong Academy, this is their forbidden land. These beasts are raised here. Now that the academy is rebuilt, their good days are over. Tianlong the God King smiled. At this time, they had arrived at the Qianlong Palace. Below was the gathering place for the disciples of the academy. There were some intervals between each Qianlong Palace, and each person had quite a large space for cultivation. There's no need to go inside. The place in front is basically occupied. Just look around here, the heavenly dragon God King said. He put Zhang Zizai and the others down and said, "Next, practice with peace of mind and follow the arrangements." Now the academy has just reconstruction, many things are still in the discussion stage. If you have important matters, you can come to me at the Dragon Festival Palace. The Dragon Festival Palace is not big, so it is not difficult to find my mansion. I still have to find a nest. First come first served, the last ones left behind are the crooked melons and cracked dates. Zhang Zizai is in their area, which can be said to be on the edge of Xuanlong Mountain. You can hear the sounds of mythical beasts here, and there may be many terrifying beasts. However, the heavenly dragon God King said that they dare not approach, so this place is also safe. The Qianlong Palace nearby was indeed relatively empty, and there was actually nothing to choose from. The four of them chose one of the four Qianlong palaces that were relatively close, so they could take care of each other at any time. Among them, Lu Dingxing and Xuanhuan were slightly closer, while Zhang Zizai and Long Yan were closer, both on the same mountain peak. When they separated, Zhang Zizai said, "Stay stable for a while and wait and see what happens. This is indeed a very good place to practice, quiet enough." After they separated, Zhang Zizai returned to his Qianlong Palace and engraved the words Zhang Zizai on the plaque at the door, indicating that this Qianlong Palace already had an owner. The Qianlong Palace is quite large and has everything inside, but it has not been cleaned for a long time, so it is very dirty and messy. For Zhangzai, this is very simple. After using some simple talismans, the place is very clean in an instant. There is a very thick book on the table in the main hall called Disciple Academic Rules. It contains very detailed content, including an introduction to the history of Zilong Academy, an introduction to the current reconstruction personnel, and a detailed introduction to each trial site. The reward and punishment system, trial rules, guidance rules, etc. are all introduced in detail. Zhang Zizai took a look and found that the requirements for the Academy disciples are still very strict. It seems that the Supreme Dragon Clan is also very determined to Zilong Academy was rebuilt. After reading the disciple rules first, he basically knows how to survive here. The key is to be strong and show your talent. It's just that this huge palace is still a bit lonely. It would be a lot more lively if there were bells playing around here. Zhang Zizai sat on the eaves and stared at the full moon in the sky in silence all night, still missing that little girl. Early the next morning, he went to Longyan, mainly because he wanted to chat more. Unexpectedly, when I got closer, I found the sound of fighting over there. He quickly went over and found that in the canyon in front of Longyan's Qianlong Palace, two people were fighting. One of them was her, and the other one had holy light sky wings on his body, and also had a huge totem look, and a handful of the lightsaber is so dazzling. There is no doubt that it is Bai Mu. He actually dared to provoke Longyan. Zhang Zizai's eyes turned cold, but he did not intervene because he saw that it was Bai Mu himself who was being abused now. When Longyan reached the 9th level of the ancient god realm, even if he became a god king, he would still not be a god king. Her opponent. With the Zushan Bloodthorn, the 9-Death Blood Demon, the 9-Death Killing Wool, plus the Wushan Blood Shadow and the 7-Kill Dragon Thorn, she appeared and disappeared in the jungle, causing Bai Mu to be defeated. Not long after, she was hit by the Zushan Bloodthorn, and the person almost turned into vermilion. How dare you hurt me like this? You're finished, Bai Mu cried. He had been beaten to pieces. At this time, Longyan was more terrifying than Zhang Zizai who had defeated him. Go away, don't bother me again, Longyan said. This guy is really confident in himself, that's why he came to trouble so quickly. He may have wanted to instigate a few words, but he never expected that it would end like this. You've bullied me so much, I'm going to find a dragon sacrifice master, Bai Mu gritted his teeth. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Go find him, see if you'll feel ashamed. Zhang Zizai appeared behind him and said with a smile. You. Bai Mu, you can face the reality clearly. You've been left behind by us. Don't come to make a fool of yourself again, you'll only get beaten, Zhang Zizai said. He had wanted to beat him up a long time ago, and Longyan had already done it. It's really impressive, Bai Mu smiled grimly, and he said to the back of Zhang Zizai, everyone, this is Zhang Zizai, the one who brought the immortal back to life. Zhang Zizai had known that there was someone behind him, and that group of people just happened to pass by, so they watched Bai Mu and Longyan fight. This is a group of gods, and it seems that they should be from the Shenlongtian clan, and they are from the other 4 supreme dragon clans. Zhang Zizai, hearing this name, their faces became gloomy. Don't leave, you sinners! Suddenly, they surrounded him and looked at Zhang Zizai with a cold face. They surrounded him, a total of more than a dozen people. In addition to a few people from the Shenlongtianzhu, there were also a few people from the Shenlongtianzhu, who should be the gods from the Zixiao dragon clan. They came later, and they also knew Zhang Zizai. After all, they had seen him in the Origin Dragon Cave. They clearly meant that they didn't want Zhang Zizai to leave. I went out to do some work today and came back very late. I was a little tired from doing some physical work. I will write 2 chapters today. To be honest, I have been simply renovating the old house in the past 2 months, so I have compressed some coding space. I will finish it next month, and then I can write more. I will try my best to repay what I owe. Please bookmark this site to read the latest novels. Holy Dragon Totem. Author, Fengqing Yang. Chapter 1092. Now Zhang Zizai has the most special identity in the entire Zilong Academy. But the entanglement of these people today was still a little beyond his expectations. He originally thought that as long as he focused on practicing, there would not be too many people targeting him. Unfortunately, he found that he underestimated the hatred of other supreme dragons towards the Immortals. This hatred can easily be transferred to himself. After all, they don't have anything to do with the 9 Immortals. Of course, he came to Zilong Academy and wanted to become a god, and even eventually become a god king and leave here, so he was not afraid of any challenge at all. Some of these 2 groups of people were from the Zixiao dragon clan that he had seen in the Origin Dragon Cave, and the other part was the elite geniuses of the Shenlongtian clan that he had never met. Among the Zixiao dragon clan, there was a person Zhang Zizai knew. He was Zijhen, who was defeated by Bai Mu, the strongest among the ancient gods of the Zixiao dragon clan. The 1000-year grand scene of the Origin Dragon Cave also had a certain fortune for him. He did not break through like Bai Mu at that time, but today, when he saw it, he had become a god. Zhang Zizai is now looking for the way to become a god, so he is a little curious. Which one is harder, becoming a god or becoming a god through tribulation? Everyone, what does this mean? Zhang Zizai and Long Yan stood together, they were staring at each other, while Bai Mu had a gloomy face and climbed up on the side. On the side of the Shenlong celestial clan, they have not made any movement for the time being. These people are obviously much stronger. Zizhen of the Zixiao dragon clan stared at Zhang Zizai and said, I can't understand why you still have the face to come to the Zilong Academy. Now our supreme dragon clan is in danger, and the Blizzard Dragon Lord died in battle. It has a lot to do with you. It can even be said that it was caused by your ignorance. If I were you, I would be ashamed to see people. And you came here as a member of the Holy Dragon Celestial Clan. I feel ashamed for you. It seems that he is anxious. In the long-term practice in the Zilong Academy, as long as Zhang Zizai shows up, it seems to be a shame for the Holy Dragon Celestial Clan, because the other 4 major clans will say that he is a member of the Holy Dragon Celestial Clan. That's not the case. If he still had face, he wouldn't have come here. This person has already been shameless. Bai Mu sneered. His heart was completely unbalanced. The wise and calm boy at the beginning had been engulfed by jealousy in front of Zhang Zizai. To be honest, I think the elders should just kill you to set an example, or use you as bait to deal with the immortal lord. A slightly older god of the Zixiao dragon clan said. This person was next to Zizhen and seemed to have a good relationship with Zizhen. He must be talented enough to come to the Zilong Academy. Zhang Zizai, I think you can leave now and don't stay here to embarrass yourself. We, the Holy Dragon Clan, can't afford to lose this person, Zizhen said. Zhang Zizai was too lazy to pay attention to him. Although they surrounded him, they didn't do anything. He just pulled Yanner out and passed by Zizhen. After all, he was the weakest among the group. Even on the Zixiao Dragon Clan side, the others were his brothers. Stop! Zhang Zizai, you ignored the Academy's rules for disciples and severely injured Bai Mu for no reason. Your behavior is cruel and has violated the rules for disciples. I can report to the Dragon Master and give you a severe punishment, Zizhen said. He probably didn't expect that there would be a day when he would speak for Bai Mu. Many people are not very willing to come to the Zilong Academy to compete with the geniuses of the other 4 supreme dragon clans. Zizhen is one of them. He was personally guided by Zixiao Dragon Master in the Zixiao Dragon Clan, but when he came here, he lost his advantage. The elders all said that it is difficult for disciples of the Holy Dragon Clan to compete with the other 4 clans. Therefore, Zhang Zizai, who caused the rebirth of the immortal lord, is naturally hateful. He believes that it is not just him who wants to beat him up, but his brothers who are accompanying him have such an idea. Since he blocked the way, Zhang Zizai stopped. It was Long Yan who defeated Bai Mu, but he dragged himself into it. This is an insignificant detail, and the main thing is that he wants to target himself. He just wanted to vent his anger and start this, because he knew very well that there would be many people who would vent their anger on Zhang Zizai in the future, such as the Shen Longtianzi who seemed to be watching the fun. If he didn't vent his anger now, Zhang Zizai would have no chance to flee in a hurry. You think I violated the rules of the disciples, so you went to complain to the Dragon Master. Why are you stopping me? I'm in the Qianlong Palace and I won't go anywhere, Zhang Zizai said with a smile. In fact, Zizhen just wanted to force him to do it to him first. His meaning was so obvious. When Zhang Zizai asked this question, he really didn't know how to answer. Are all the people of the Shen Longtianzi so slow? Why not just start fighting directly? It's a waste of time. Haha. They laughed, their eyes full of disdain. The leader of their group was indeed a young man with the youngest grade and the shallowest cultivation. This person looked very majestic. Although he was young, he also had the feeling of a domineering king. His pair of golden eyes were full of strong penetrating power. Zizhen must know that Zhang Zizai had defeated Bai Mu. The thing he regrets most now is that he was defeated during the ancestor worship. He and Bai Mu were not much different in level, and he just had some problems at the time. Now, only by defeating Zhang Zizai can he redeem his life. In fact, he also regards Zhang Zizai as an opponent who can rebuild his confidence. The battle with Bai Mu was too much of a blow to him. So at this time, he told his brothers around him that if they were to fight Zhang Zizai, they should not interfere. If not, he would not have needed to take the initiative to tangle with Zhang Zizai. Anyway, he stood in front of Zhang Zizai, and he knew that Zhang Zizai would definitely not be able to control his temper and choose to fight with him. He guessed right. Of course, he guessed wrong. The right thing was that Zhang Zizai did take action. The wrong thing was that the result of the action was not as he expected. At this moment, he keenly noticed the change in Zhang Zizai's eyes. He understood in his heart, took out the Three Realms Thunder Blade directly, and activated the power of the Eternal Mixed UN Violent Thunder Dragon Totem to form the Eternal Mixed UN Violent Thunder God Body. For a time, endless lightning storms entangled him, and the terrifying thunder power swept across. As long as Zhang Zizai made a move, he naturally chose to move faster. At this moment, he held the Three Realms Thunder Blade, and condensed billions of lightning and thunder with that terrifying divine body, and burst out with one move. Zhang Zizai and Zizhen made a move directly. This was the second day that Zhang Zizai came here, and he was challenged directly. But, is this a challenge of sufficient magnitude? Please bookmark this site to read the latest novels.